Fun fact number 22. The sun is shining so brightly through my window right now. I need to wear sunglasses. I can barely see my computer screen. Um, Fun fact 22 is supposed to be about scammers and how I got kind of scammed, but not scammed on a dating app. Maybe they were catfishing or something like that. I don't know. I mean, we all know I have no money. I know I'm just scraping by, and if they wanted money or to steal my identity, I don't think it's worth very much. But they kept trying to, hmm, get rid of me and keep me at the same time. And they never got enough information to really steal my identity or do anything. And if they did, they have to figure they're not going to get very far with it because I'm very, very honest, obviously. Okay, now it's gotten a little darker. But see, my eyes are still like, oh, that's too bright for me. Um, so I already mentioned in my last fun fact that there was somebody who I met on a dating app, and they had me go to Skype to communicate with them. And now when people ask me to go to Skype to communicate with them, I kind of like am really wary of it. Um, yeah. Uh, I still haven't gotten rid of the app. I need to do that. I can't seem to get me off of Skype because I have to jump through hoops with Microsoft. I don't know. Just not going to do that. But I just need to kind of block the person and or delete the conversations, block the person. It was like a 2-month long thing starting on one platform, then moving to texting, then moving to Skype. So it was about 2 months. After a week or two, they kind of disappeared, and I'm like, hey, well, I guess you changed your mind, and you don't change your mind, and you got something else going on. Wish you luck. Kind of was getting really into you, really connected to you really fast, really felt you right away in your soul, and really felt like this could be a good thing. And then, yeah. Then they disappeared. And so I was like, okay, I guess you don't want, this is not what you want. It's okay. I'm a little hurt, kind of sad. That's okay. There's these other people that want to date me and who I'm talking to, and it's fine. And then he came back and was like, well, I don't want to be an option. And I didn't change my mind. I just got really busy. And I was like, okay, well, you know, don't ask a question if you're not going to answer it. For if I answer it and then I ask you a question and you don't come back for 5 days, I'm just not, that's not where I'm at in my life. I need somebody who really wants to build something and put some effort in. And if you're too busy and you don't have time for that, whether it's work or a scam or whatever, I just don't want to keep trying and fighting for something that's not real or that they're not putting in as much effort as I am. And so, we talked on the phone. We did a video chat, but the video on their end was brief, and I was kind of shy, so I didn't really look that hard. So that was my fault. But I really thought that what I saw was the person and the photos and was real. And I believed again, which I'm an idiot. We've figured that out. But there were a lot of excuses for not. There were times where it was like boom, 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 boom. We are communicating. We are calling. Do you want me to call you every day? Yes, I do. If you're as interested in me as you say you are, and you miss me so much, why wouldn't you want to check in with me? Why wouldn't you want to call me? Plus, I'm getting all these things from social media that says if a guy is doing these things, you're not his priority. He's not interested in you. Walk away. And so he kept kind of ghosting me. But then he would come back a little bit, and then he'd come back strong, and then he would ghost me again. It was very sporadic and not consistent. And then when I asked him the hard questions, he goes, "Ask me anything." And I'm like, when I would ask the hard questions, he wouldn't answer. Um, and then sometimes when I asked the hard questions or said, "Hey, if this is a scam, let me know," And I'm still connected to you, so I want to know what if there's a possibility here because I feel really connected to you. Um, there was a lot of things because you know me, I just say it. And I think the things I loved was when we talked on the phone and shared deep things and pains and doubts and fears and sang songs together and um, talked about what we loved and what we wanted for our futures and everything else. It was really nice. And then other times I was dismissed on the phone, basically. Like I'm too busy with work or something else. But then the message would come through or the text would come through saying I was doing chores and making dinner. Or I went to the gym or this or that. A lot of excuses for not being present or I mean, we all have busy lives and we all have things we can do, but if we really care about somebody, we'll find a way to touch base with them and let them know that we care. And our actions will speak louder than our words. And that really wasn't happening. So I walked away 5 or 6 times and said, "Hey, if I'm bothering you too much, if you don't have time for me, I understand. I'll just back off and I do have other people that are interested in me and it's okay. And he didn't like that because he said he wanted to be the priority and the only option. He didn't want to be an option. He wanted to be the only one, and I was the only one. And so I let people go and I broke other people's hearts, which I didn't never wanted to do in my life, and I never have, as far as I know. But so I did. I made him the only option, and um, and then things got even, and we were supposed to meet in person. We never did. The date that we had set up, I have to go out of the country for work. Um, and then going out of the country, and I said, if you don't try to see me before you leave, I think it's goodbye to us because I can't keep playing this with you. And I've already broken other hearts and let other people go, and I made you a priority, and you're just not making me one. And the inequity in me fighting for you all the time, and you're not fighting for me. So, I just said it was going to be goodbye, but even after that, I tried to stay in touch while they were out of the country, and they weren't communicative. And then I was searching for the name and the occupation and location and things like that, and nothing really came up. So that was another red flag. I had like a list of 30 red flags. And I kept trying to figure out what the real story was. And then finally, when they were supposed to be coming back from overseas, they said 10 days. And I was kind of like, okay, what's going on? And I see you reading my messages, but not responding. What is going on? And when are you going to be back? And there was no response. And so then I just said, okay, I just want you to know. I deleted my responses. I just wanted you to know that I have been messaging you and you have been unresponsive. And I just wanted you to know in case you would ever come to this chat again that I did write you several times and you're just not there. So I went ahead and realized I could do a search on the photos that were sent to me, and most of them came up as somebody who's famous in another country, and there was a thing that said that people were stealing that person's photos and catfishing or scamming people in dating apps. And I was like, well, there you go. There's my answer. That there were conversations and messages and stuff that felt very real. Some of it went a little too fast, and I realized that. Red flag. But when I did this search on the photos, I still said I'm stupid because I still care about whoever I was talking to, and I felt connected to them most of the time. Sometimes I didn't, but most of the time I felt connected to them, and I really thought we were sharing. I think the thing that got me was that they said they were looking for the last love of their life and to grow old with them, and that's kind of what I was looking for too. That soul connection, and got my hopes and my dreams up, and was really disappointing, and it really hurt to walk away 6 times. Dumbass. You can see my eyes, I'm rolling them in my head, but it's still too bright. Let's see, maybe 6 times. Like dumbass me. But and now I've gone back in the dating app, and I've seen like fairly good looking guys that looked similar to the photographs that were given to me, but not exactly, but kind of similar qualities. And older guy, nice eyes, nice smile, sicker. Um, and I scroll down and I look at the pictures and I look at the descriptions. I read everything, because I'm really looking for somebody, a soul connection. And I even did a soul reading. And you get those ads for all those women that want to read your cards and stuff. I've done all of that, which is silly because I know more than they do usually. Um, yeah, and even like I could see him with a petite blonde woman who was younger and being torn. And when I looked up the pictures, the guy in the pictures was with the same petite blonde woman I saw. But then the person I was talking on the phone to couldn't have been the same person as far as I can tell. So it had a different name and different age and everything. So I'm thinking it had to be two people. And the person I was talking to on the phone, I think there was somebody there with them too, but it was really foggy. And I really felt the person that I connected solely to really did fall for me, but they were split and they couldn't. I was confusing them, which I do a lot of people. So just to say. Um, so the scammer online was really good and really manipulated me really well. And really, every time I said I can't believe, and I thought, I have all these dreams, and I thought you were going to be part of it, and you built up all these dreams in my head together. We built up this dream life for each other, and it wasn't real. And that's, I think, it's the hardest thing to let go of. And I even said at one point, you built up all these dreams, and you got me dreaming again, and about this life that I've always wanted to share with somebody. And now I'm disappointed again. You got my hopes up and I'm disappointed again. He goes, well, no, you should hope, you should dream. Your dreams should come true. So good, just what you want to hear, right? So I fell several times, but I think it was because I wanted to believe that they were real. And they didn't always say what I wanted to hear. And they also turned around and blamed me, and I got that narcissistic vibe that my ex-husband did to me for 20 years. And I'm like, oh, And I'm like, well, I only did this one for 2 months. I'm getting better. You guys. So, know that about me, that I'm gonna fight and I'm gonna believe even though I know better. And because I feel something different. And I work off my feelings. But scammers, online. Now, when I've gone back into the dating app, of course, I've gotten a lot of guys that are interested in me. They say I'm gorgeous, whatever. I don't think so. But a lot of them are so young. I'm not rich, so they have to figure that one out. They think I'm old and rich, and I'm going to take care of them. Not going to happen. But I'm noticing they've changed the format in the dating app, and some of the guys that look similar or look like somebody I'd be interested in, I look down on the pictures, and all of a sudden, there's this Asian woman, and it's the same Asian woman on each one of them, and I'm like, I wonder if that's trying to tell me this is a scam. This is a scam. So, and then I'll see the same picture of the guy with the different name, but not with all the pictures, or the Asian woman, but it's the same picture. And you're like, no, I don't care how cute you are or how many things we have in common. Why do you have an Asian woman, that same Asian woman on these other ones? And why is your name Mike now instead of Javier? Or Antonio, William, or Paolo Conticini, or Federico Alazar, or Hakeem Jeffries, who is a politician, you know. Um, yeah, so I'm kind of looking a little bit more closely and being a little bit more discerning, but I've also learned how to delete, block, um, and making sure these people cannot reach me again. If they, there are ways they could reach me, but they're very minimal, and they'd really have to try hard, and I don't think they want to work that hard. I think they worked hard enough with me when I left 6 times and came back. So watch out for scammers, catfishers, whatever. I have a very kind and open heart, and um, it breaks easily. So, especially if I feel it. And right now, I don't feel that connection with anybody. I'm still kind of connected to the fake person, but I think I'm exploring, and I'm going to do what I was going to do originally, which is try to date several people and decide what I want instead of just, I'm connected to you. Let's jump right in. So, fun fact number 22 is online dating, scammers, catfishers, falling in love, breaking it off, understanding myself more, but also understanding that when things start to look like they're not real, to really get the answers from the person, and also not to keep going. I did have another one that was like, well, I'm in Somalia. Um, a lot of things stopped ringing true after like 5 minutes, and I'm like, bye bye. And he's like, why are you blocking me? And I'm like, because you don't sound like you're like you're really there. So, yeah, I'm learning how to say bye sooner and no more. Learning, always learning. So, fun fact 22 should actually be, I'm always learning. Ciao, Bellas.